Hello, I wanted to give you an answer from chapter one, Gatsby. So, yesterday you had there were five choices of questions. I'm going to give you the answer to group three's question. Then I will read yours and see if I need to write more answers. However, even if you did not read group three or do group three's question, the question about diction when it comes to Tom, you should still be watching this and learning about rhetorical analysis and your expectations for these questions. So, group three, look at the paragraph about Tom Buchanan beginning with, he had changed since. Find and list 10 words that contribute to the impact of the last sentence. What is the effect of the last sentence, and how specifically do these words contribute to this impact? So, what is the effect is like the magic word in rhetorical analysis. And that's pretty broad, right? You could talk about the effect on the message, on the purpose, on the audience, on the narrative as a whole. I'm sure I'm not writing them all, but they're just asking what's the effect. You can pick which effect you want to talk about. So here I just copied and pasted this paragraph. All right. And then my first job was to list 10 words. Okay. I did a few like entire phrases. So remember, in Mrs. Hermanson's class, pink is the author's choice and yellow is what we say about it. So here's my paragraph. Fitzgerald's descriptive diction clearly denotes, I have a strong verb I took from my rhetorical verb sheet, Tom as a strong person, both physically and personally. The connotation of the words magnifies his strength as the paragraph progresses. A sturdy body becomes one of enormous power, and a supercilious personality becomes arrogant. You know, supercilious and arrogant basically mean the same thing, but arrogant sounds much worse. So as Fitzgerald moves through this list, the connotation of the words becomes harsher. Because this list is written in the order of the words up here, you guys, as he moves through the paragraph. Fitzgerald's assessment of Tom's strength and hostility shows up even in Tom's eyes, which establish dominance over his face. These word choices prompt readers to dislike Tom, and due to their climactic order, it should not be so surprising that his great pack of muscle leads to cruelty. Yet the final sentence still jars the audience, because a person can be powerful and arrogant without being cruel. So here I have like some of his choices, right? Connotation, climactic order, um, placing the obvious description in the first chapter is another choice. Since Fitzgerald places this obvious description in the first chapter, it most likely foreshadows violence to come. The explicit, direct characterization of Tom as violent allows readers. So here's my effect of the sentence on audience. Remember my list up here of I could explain the effect on these things, right? This would be like my space cat or my soapstone. It allows readers to start to apply Nick's assertion about moral decay, which he cites at the beginning of the chapter. Remember, Nick moves back to the Midwest because of the moral decay that he witnessed, and we should have that in our head as we're reading, right? That's his exigence for writing the book. And so now we've met somebody who has a cruel body, right? So I'm looking at this thinking, oh, Tom is going to be his example of moral decay. I'm not sure though, but that's my guess in the first chapter. It also solidifies, again, a verb from our verb list, that Tom is a one dimensional antagonist, leaving readers to focus on the more complex nature of other characters in future chapters. The pink is Fitzgerald's choices as an author. And then the yellow is why I think he maybe did that. Now, you're not going to have the same answer as me, but the point is, do you have pink and yellow? Like, do you have at least two reasons that he would have done this. What effect does it have on an element of message, purpose, audience, the narrative as a whole, and so forth? Group one also had to answer, what is Fitzgerald's purpose in describing him in these terms? So I already did that up above. And then we also learned Tom is a racist in this chapter. Why might Fitzgerald want to include this? This is what I wrote. You might have written something different. The point is, I answered it. Racist people view those of a different race as below them. This further establishes and supports Tom's previously depicted arrogance and cruelty. Okay, it adds layers to Tom. It adds another example of his arrogance, which is like the theme of this paragraph up here. All right, so this is an expectation for what like your answers should look like when you are doing your Gatsby questions. Please reach out with questions or concerns. Have a good day.